Here's a description of you by a writer. You're Mr. Rogers on a caffeine high. Every day is beautiful in Herm's neighborhood.
I think every day is a good day. I really do. I think you know, every day you have to make something out of it. Whether it be good or bad, you're going to learn something about yourself. Every day is not going to be what you perceive your best day. But if you learn something from it, it becomes a good day for you.
We made enough mistakes this game for the rest of the year, you know. So we're okay. We just say.
He's an energetic guy. He's a positive guy. He goes through his daily life acting, looking, sounding like it's the best thing in the world. And when you shake hands with him, you know, you feel like an energy. You do feel a connection.
Huh? How about it, man? It's all good. How about it, 2-5? Huh? Let's go, man. Let's go have some fun.
The guy's genuine. He's unlike any coach I've ever had in any level.
O-line, D-line down on the east end, in the meadow, by the pool. Synchronized swimming for the O-line and the D-line down there.
He's genuinely a guy that's just energetic, fun to be around.
How we doing, number 80? Huh? Having fun yet?
Would you call yourself a player's coach?
Yeah, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think probably in the 70s, that was something that you didn't want to, if it was a player's coach, you went, oh no, you know, the players are running
too easy.
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's always been a stereotype of players' coaches, that the players like him too much. He can be too soft on the players.
Read hot, Chad.
But that's not Herm.
Good job, John.
He's very straight and direct, but he's always upbeat.
Good job on third down, good disguise.
And he's always using positive reinforcement as opposed to a negative.
Very nice.
He's different and unique, I believe, because he was a player and played for a long time. And I think he really still, in a lot of respects, sees himself as a player. And he has that relationship and he has that knowledge to draw from. He's just one of us. He's just a little older and he moved on to a different phase of football. But in a sense, he's still one of the guys.
Herman Edwards had no head coaching experience prior to taking over the New York Jets in 2001. Yet he became the first head coach to lead the Jets to the playoffs in his first season. In 2002, he guided them to a division title and a playoff win over Indianapolis.
Making the catch, touchdown, Santana Moss.
Remember something, man? We talked about it. It's your will, guys. It's your will.
Yes, sir.
And no one can break your will. They caught us on a bad day. But you know what? There's going to be some more teams that catch us on a bad day, too, when you play like that. Play with your will, man. Play with your will. If you play like that, man, you're hard to beat.
I think people, for the most part, can be successful if you give them the opportunity to be successful. That takes patience. That takes a lot of patience. And I think in our league, people don't have patience. They want instant gratification. And to be a coach, the one thing you better have is patience. And I have a lot of that.
Herman Edwards learned patience at an early age. The son of a career military man, Herman was born in New Jersey but grew up in Northern California. His father, Herman Sr., was an Army Master Sergeant stationed at Fort Ord. Young Herm earned money shining shoes and running errands on the base. But by the time he got to Monterey High School, his life centered around sports.
My goal was to play pro football. There was no doubt about it. That was my ambition. That was what I was going to do. Regardless of what anybody said, I was going to play pro football. I told guys in the neighborhood, hey, when you guys grow up, you're going to see me on TV one day.
Edwards won a football scholarship to the University of California and played 2 seasons there before finishing his college career at San Diego State. He was considered too slow to play cornerback in the pros, so he went undrafted. He signed with Philadelphia as a free agent in 1977 and was a starter for 9 seasons. His 33 interceptions ranked 3rd in the team's history, but he's best remembered for a 1978 fumble recovery that became forever known as the Miracle of the Meadowlands. He never imagined that 22 years later, after assistant coaching stops in Kansas City and Tampa Bay, that he would return to the Meadowlands as head coach of the Jets.
The
best thing Herm did was he took all the experiences he had along the way and he put them into a package. This was a guy that, had to make it the hard way. What he was able to do, and the reason he's successful, is he took all those experiences and he made it into his own style of coaching. His passion for the game and for the National Football League shows up every single day, and I think the players know that. They feel it and they feed off of it.
Slide and punch him with your hands now. Even though you feel he might not be, he's a decoy, still work on your technique, right? Because he might be setting you up.
I think he is the mold of what the future head coach will be, because so much of it is communication skills and dealing with players. In the era of the salary cap, players are coming and going every couple of years. You got a whole new team, and I think it really takes a coach who can deal with people.
I see you. That's it. That's the way to make a play, Sean.
The guy with the broom. Now, this is from your office.
Yeah.
What's the significance of
Well, the story of my dad, basically. When I was about 8 years old, I was sweeping the backyard up one day, and he walks out there and he says, "Son, did you do a good job?" And I said, "Yeah, Dad, I did a real good job." So the first thing he does, he walks over to the left corner. There's some dirt in that corner. He goes to the right corner. He said, "You didn't do the corners." I said, "What do you mean do the corners?" He said, "That's the most important thing in life." He said, "The corners." He said, "The details." He said, "Remember that." And he said, "Never be afraid of this broom."
And that's why you have this in your office?
Yeah, because broom equals hard work.
Herm, your dad was in the military, right? Now, growing up, did you have any things that you had to follow, like military protocol, because your dad?
Obviously, yeah, we lived on an army base. My father taught me, when we were growing up, that basically, he said, "Son, I can't promise you a lot of money. I can't promise you a big home." He said, "But what I can promise you is a good name. And so you make sure you don't mess it up."
Herman Edwards was a player, a scout, and an assistant coach prior to becoming head coach in New York, and he wasted no time putting his stamp on the Jets. When you were hired by the Jets, what changes did you make? Start maybe with the Super Bowl trophy. What did you do with that?
Well, the first thing we did is we put it in the locker room. I thought
it used to be in the lobby?
Yeah, it used to be in the lobby, and I thought that that's something that the players need to see every day.
So that was one of the things, putting the Super Bowl trophy in the locker room where everybody walks by it 10 times a day. You know what you're playing for. It makes it real.
That's the quest of every football team, of every football player in the National Football League. If you don't understand that, if that's not your vision, then you shouldn't be in the game.
It's the little things that make a difference when you're talking about winning championships. It's the details. It's the things that, as players, sometimes you don't even think about. And you have to have a guy such as Coach Edwards that puts those things to the forefront.
Did you fall down?
Yeah, and then got back up through it.
That was like that play was in
Minnesota.
Yeah. Same round.
That's right.
He did that in the real game, too.
Edwards cares about his players, and he shows it all the time. He gave his reserved parking space to one of the veterans so the player would have a shorter walk to the locker room. When the team flew to Japan for a 2003 preseason game, the coach rode in coach and let a player take his seat in first class. His leadership style is a reflection of his effervescent personality. It's a stark contrast to his predecessor, Bill Parcells, who molded the Jets into a winning team, but did it with an iron fist.
When Herm came in, it was almost like the Berlin Wall coming down, and the paranoia that existed in the Parcells regime is pretty much wiped out. All the good head coaches I've been around, and Bill Parcells is a great head coach, they're all great communicators, and they do it in their own way. Now, Parcells did it through fear.
You want to run tonight, son, or you want to act like a rabbit? You want to run or you want to duck down? If you want to duck, just go over there and get onto the bench and stay there.
Now, Herm would do it in such a different way.
They'll be clapping all year for you, baby.
There was a time here when everybody walked around on eggshells, peeked around corners, this whole aura of secrecy and darkness and that kind of thing. And when Herm came in, it just completely changed. Everything's open, people are more friendly, it's more of a family atmosphere.
Good job, Mick. Good job. NFL experience, man, you're part of it right now. People pay a lot of money to do that, the week of the Super Bowl, go to that NFL experience, ride all the rides, You guys get it free every day, huh? Wow.
Well, I got to be perfectly honest with you. When he first took over and I saw his player-friendly style, I have to admit I was very, very skeptical that he would be able to pull this off, but the bottom line is 2 playoff appearances in a row, so he's obviously doing something right with that style.
Now that one went up in there. That guy's a good little runner.
One of our guys was walked by one of your team meetings, I think it was Thanksgiving week, and heard you talking about the Pilgrims.
For all the history guys that I know went to class and didn't stay in the student union, let's just see where we're at. Thanksgiving Day, right? First question.
You can believe Herm's asking guys how many Pilgrims landed at Plymouth?
There's 44, but a lot of people don't know that.
44 what? That's how many Pilgrims?
Yeah, basically.
First of all, you try to figure out where he's going with it. You know, what's the deal? And when he does things like that, it kind of takes your mind off how serious football is. But yet, he always tries to make some other hidden point.
It always revolves around religion, man. Remember that. In your lifetime.
It was Thanksgiving. I knew they were going to go home and eat their turkeys, and I just felt that they didn't know something about the Pilgrims. All these guys went to college. They were in high school, you know, American history. It's a shame. None of them knew about the Pilgrims. They didn't even know how many Pilgrims there were.
Well, I didn't know
Did
that.
you know how many? There was only 4. I feel you didn't know that either. Okay.
I think that was his way to just kind of let everybody relax and have a little laugh, and he's great at that. 4 out of 5 of his team meetings, we're laughing about something. And he'll have clips of coaches who get knocked down on the sidelines. I mean, he has a lot of fun with it.
We got guys walking away. We got some guys kicking him into the fray.
And I think you have to enjoy what you do and have fun at your environment, your work environment, whatever it may be. And he really helps to do that here.
Big hat, no cattle.
Edwards believes in having fun, but he also believes in winning. In the 2002 season, when the Jets lost 5 in their first 7 games, Edwards took it hard, and he took it personally.
Behind the line, hit as he throws, it's in the end zone, and it is caught. Dennis Northcutt makes a miracle catch, and the Jets are about to suffer a devastating loss.
Well, didn't it was a press conference, and one of the writers said something about, was the team going to give up or something? Or
Yeah, they said that magical word, quit. And that's really not an option.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out. Because it matters.
Just to see him at that point, and the emotion and the tears welling up in his eyes and his voice just going, up a higher octave and like listening to a sermon almost. I did have some thoughts about, wow, is this guy losing it here at this point? But the players he obviously knew what he was doing. The players responded to it. They heard it. They saw it. They took offense that people were saying they were going to quit, and it became a huge rallying cry for the team.
Rolling to his left, he'll try and tuck it under and run it in. Fakes at the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown! What a run by Chad Pennington!
Well, the first reason why we were able to stay together and make a playoff run was because of our head coach. Coach Edwards came in. He didn't change. He didn't change from the first day and to the middle of the season to the end of the season. He always stayed the same.
But we're going to be fine. Just keep battling. Just keep battling, guys. We're going to be okay. Just keep playing. We'll be all right.
So what that did was that provided us a solid rock to lean upon when we were 2-5 and we're looking for answers.
In 2002, Herman Edwards and the Jets made history as the first NFL team to come back from a 2-5 start and win a division championship.
Tell you what you did, man. Tell you what you did. When everybody told you to quit, and everyone said the season was over, you know what? You didn't believe it.
Hell no.
As long as you remember that, man, the hell with the circumstances.
What?
Circumstances are always in your way, man. But just believe in each other, man. You did that. And that's why you won a division.
His whole thing is honesty, integrity, character. That's what he wants out of his players, and that's what he portrays out of himself.
He's very passionate. Sometimes you almost get the feeling that you're sitting in a church listening to a preacher.
We're starting to become a good football team. We're just starting to become a good football team. Hey, man, we ain't done. We're gonna get better. Don't let that feeling you have right now when you leave up out of here, understand that feeling you got, man. Because we hadn't had it in a while, and we got it back. Now we got to build on that. I'm proud to say I'm your coach, man. You guys did a great job.
On three. 1, 2, 3. And the home of the Jets!
The quote from an article about you: "Nobody on earth can intimidate me. It takes a lot to rock me." What's rocked you?
Probably the thing that rocked me early in my life was when my father passed. And from that day on, it's really everything else.
He died
I
in a
understand.
car accident.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. In 1978. And that right there, after that moment in my life, I understood the importance of living every day. I don't look at down the road. You know, a lot of people look at down the road, and when they do, they miss the drive. They miss the journey. See, I'm one of those kind of guys. Every day is important to me. I don't worry about tomorrow. The only thing I got given to me is today. And I'm going to be the best man I can be today. I always tell people we're here on a visa. And when the expiration date says it's expired, you're gone. And you have to live your life that way. You have to live your life with some passion and live it to its fullest and enjoy it.
Herman Edwards has spent his life playing and coaching the game he loves, and he's shared that joy with everyone he's touched throughout his career.
Just remember, when you guys are sitting in your living rooms, you know, you guys used to sit in your living rooms, you used to watching football games, you used to sit there and go, man, shoot. Emulating all those guys playing. That's what's great about this game, man. Now you get to go do it, right? And the same kids are looking at you, emulating you, trying to figure out how to be good like you guys.
He does a great job of those, quote, Hermisms that he gives us. I try to make sure I write some of them down because some of them are so natural and they come from him that they make a lot of sense. And the reason why they're good is they're the truth. There's nothing fake about them. They're the absolute truth, and that's why it makes so much sense.
Tell him, Ray, turn you loose. Big play, Ray.
What's the favorite part of the day for you?
Practice. I love watching our guys practice. I really do. Because you get a good feel of your football team.
Oh, right there. Good job, Mo Lewis.
There's no phone ringing. You don't have to answer any questions.
Good job, hey, Sam, that's good because if they throw
The
that
little
curve,
kid gets to come out of you again.
Folks got to do that. You fine. That's a good job.
You get to go play on the grass.
In the history of football, the ground catches everything that jumps up and comes down. So you ain't gonna worry. Just go and dive out there. Look, got all this. They paid like $2 million for this carpet, nice and soft, like your living room carpet. You used to have shag carpet. Just dive on out there. Dive on out there.
And that's the greatest thing about our game. You get to actually play on the grass, and you get to smell the grass. You get to walk on the grass. It keeps the little kid in you.
Edwards stays close to the grassroots of the game with a football camp he started in 1996. It's a free program for ages 9 through 17, and it's held at the same Monterey Army base where Edwards grew up.
You got, what is that called, moose?
No, it's called
Gel, huh? How long does that take to get in there?
like 10 minutes.
And it just stays like that?
Yeah.
Even when you play?
Yeah.
You think I could get one of those? You think
You have to grow for a while.
All right, I got you. I might put that in my repertoire. Make it green, though. I make mine green. Think about this, your first 2 steps.
Edwards has a staff of more than 150 volunteers, including a dozen current and former NFL players. John Lynch, who played for Edwards in Tampa, is a fixture at the camp.
I think the first year there's 300 kids, then the next year I came there's 400 kids. Now you come over, it's over 500 kids that are coming here, learning tremendous lessons, and I'm a firm believer that those lessons translate into success in life, and that's what these kids are learning through these experiences, and I think it's tremendous. I think this should be a blueprint for our league, because I think every city could really use this.
You having fun out here?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, you learning something?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot.
Good. Good to see you.
I know he believes a lot in that camp. He gives back so much to his area. I've talked to his high school coaches and some of the people that he grew up with in the Monterey area. They just worship him out there. It just says so much. I mean, a lot of coaches would be out playing golf that day or just going to some tropical island with their family.
No, not both.
He was a guy who grew up out there. His family wasn't wealthy. Herm tells the story that he used to shine shoes and bust tables in that military base. I think he looks at those kids, some of whom may never get past varsity football, and sees a lot of himself in a lot of those kids.
To have someone like Herman Edwards, African-American head coach in the National Football League, walk in and say, here kids, I'm going to coach you up for X amount of time. I mean, there's nothing but positive going to happen from that. And if they listen and just draw something from that camp, they'll be better off.
You have another expression that I wanted you to explain. It's called putting your name on the stone.
That's what it's all about. It's not about the money. It's not about the accolades. It's about putting your name in the stone.
Well, that's your legacy. And I think every person has the ability to have a legacy. And I think your legacy is what you do for others. Have you made others want to emulate you doing the right thing? For me, my legacy in football is what do I do to make the game better as a coach? And that's very, very important. And winning the Super Bowl is very, very important. But at the end of the day, have I helped the game? Have I helped the players understand the game better? And hopefully I've done something better for the game. You like football? That's important now. It's important to like